What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another Marvel's Avengers gear guide video on the classic power exotic gear set. This time we're focusing on Black Panther and his classic power exotic gear set, also known as the Unconquered gear set. So to get these gear pieces, you guys can run any villain sector that is in the game or any hive or elite hive mission. By running the villain sectors or the elite hive or regular hive missions, you will be able to obtain one gear piece from the classic power gear set. And if you want to obtain multiple gear pieces, I highly recommend you complete the weekly villain sector objective, which is the elite villain sector objective. This thing right here will be able to award you a melee or range slot plus a defense or heroic slot, and it can either roll as legendary or exotic. Now let's go ahead and look at Black Panther's gear pieces from this gear set. We'll start off with the heroic piece. This is probably the best gear piece you can get from this gear set. We have Legacy of the Unconquered. I have it with Precision, Valor, Resolve. Highly recommend you guys try and aim for Might, Valor, and Precision just to be all around. And with this gear piece, it's actually pretty cool because it contributes to all your heroic abilities. We have Adored One's multiplier. Summon an additional Wakanda warrior when using Adored One specialization of Bast Chosen. So your ultimate heroic ability will go here, and Adored One's is right over here. So if you're spec'd into this, and then you have that gear piece equipped, you will be able to summon an additional Wakanda warrior. And then we have King's Mercy Intrinsic. That's your assault heroic ability when you're throwing the spear. Enemies hit by the King's Mercy will generate Intrinsic Orb. The Intrinsic Orb will highly, be beneficial to your intrinsic ability when you're activating the Panther Cowl or Percussive Blast. And then we have Bast Kamoyo Beads, which is your support heroic ability. Enemies debuffed by Kamoyo Beads receive the Mark of Bast. Marked enemies take damage from all sources. So really good for your support heroic ability. So again, when you are looking for this gear piece, go with Might, Valor, and Precision, just to be all around with your build. Moving on to the defensive slot right now, Battle Guard of the Unconquered. This can come with Intensity, Resilience, Resolve, or 2 out of the 3 stats. We have Auto Deflect, 16% chance to automatically activate your Intrinsic when taking damage and completely negating the attack. Then we have Refresh Overdrive, 25% increase intrinsic energy regeneration speed when below the base threshold. So that helps with your intrinsic ability. And then we have Percussive Blast Impact Breaker, 25% increased damage and impact while Percussive Blast is active. So when you completely fill up Black Panther's intrinsic meter, and that is the meter under your health bar, if you activate Percussive Blast, the last perk right here will give you a 25% increased damage and impact while that's active. Moving on to the range slot right now, this can come with Proficiency, Precision, and also Intensity at times. We have Devastating Multiplier, increase the maximum amount of times a debuff from Devastating Daggers can stack by 1%. So Devastating Daggers, when you're throwing those daggers and you're hitting an enemy, it'll get debuffed and you'll be able to do more melee damage to that enemy. And then with the range and melee slots, you guys already know it can roll with different types of range attacks or melee attacks with different status effects. So I have Cryo with Devastating Daggers. It's good that I got Devastating Daggers with this because this is what this gear piece caters to. And it also comes with Devastating Melee Boon. Devastating Daggers debuff increases melee critical attack chance by 5% per stack. So this is Devastating Daggers right here. Now moving on to the last piece, we have Fists of the Unconquered. This can come with Might, Resilience, and Proficiency. This actually has a similar perk that you guys might be familiar with from the Discordant Sound raid, and that is Relentless Traversal Amplifier. Traversal intrinsic attacks deal status damage based on what type of melee status gear is equipped. So since I have Cosmic status, when I do an intrinsic attack, I'll be able to inflict cosmic damage. And you can get this either with signature attacks, power attacks, or heavy combo finishers, and also again with different status effects. And then I have Rampant Overdrive, 15% increase in intrinsic generation while overcharged. So now let's go ahead and look at all these gear pieces, and I'll let you know which is the best one. And if you guys forgot, the legendary version of these gear pieces will have a different third perk. So here is the legendary version. I have Rampage Spark. Here's another version, Berserker Empowerment. So you guys can see the first two perks are exactly the same. The last perk is different. And that's how the legendary versions are for these gear pieces. Alright, so yeah, going back to now picking the heroic slot. Heroic slot is the best gear piece you can obtain from this gear set. This has the abilities to help your heroics out, and then you can also get might, valor, and precision on it. The next one I'll actually go with, I would probably go with the ranged piece, just because the devastating daggers can debuff enemies and you'll be able to do more melee damage, even though it doesn't roll with might. If you're able to, use this as a beginner Black Panther player, this might come useful until you get something better. And then the third piece I will try and go for would be the Fist of the Unconquered, just because of the first perk. Traversal intrinsic attacks deal status damage. I personally would want signature attacks on this instead of heavy combo finishers. Heavy combo finishers would be beneficial for all-around build. However, if you're going strictly like, let's say, Might and Valor, so if this was Might and Valor, you probably want signature attacks. Then that will help with your intrinsic attacks as well. And then last but not least, to complete the collection, the defensive slot. And the third perk is pretty useful as well. So that is Black Panther's exotic, classic, power gear set. And it's also known as the Unconquered set. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more gear guide videos, check out the link in the description. Show your support by hitting that like and subscribe button. Until next time, I'm out. You guys take care. Peace.